All right, welcome back to the Horror Spaces. And today we're going to talk about the strange things about the Johnsons. I want to talk about this great horror short film that garnered a cult following, directed by the one and only Ari Aster. I'm not a huge fan of him personally, but I do love his willingness to come in swinging with this short and revealing himself to always be unconventional, familial, horror oriented, and quite ballsy. This is something that all future directors can't take away from Ari Aster. You have to go big or go home. Low budget friendly idea, executed with a professional frame of mind, heightened by a hook so good that you need to see the entirety of the film. Stylistically, this show reminds me of some of the vibes I got watching a couple of the Masters of Horror series episodes like Family and We All Scream for Ice Cream. The suburban family exterior used to mask the hideous incestual interior felt right at home in that show. The first time I watched the short was because of the surrounding dialogue that it was super disturbing and always ranked high on those lists. Ari Aster had yet to make Hereditary, so his name value alone wasn't enough to get me to watch it, but the ongoing discussion of his reputation had me seated. Of course, my curiosity got the best of me and I watched it. Unfortunately, I didn't watch it alone, but with the homie of mine in his room, alone. I don't recommend that at all. Super awkward considering he didn't know a thing about the short and its disturbing nature. Regardless, I didn't really enjoy it at first, and now having rewatched it, I can say I understand why Ari Aster became the director and writer that he is. There's so much said here, it's only enveloped in a taboo plotline. Speaking of which, this story is about a son who has a crush on his father that evolves to him sexually abusing him for many, many years. The father finally has had enough and now wants to confess what he has been happening to him to the world as he is a famous poet. That's basically the gist of the story. The strange things about Johnson deals with themes of male trauma, suppression, preserving a broken household, sexual abuse, and of course, incest. These things work together to bring the story as a commentary. A picturesque, beautiful white picket fence family can just be a guise to hide a more sinister and strange secret within. No family is exempt from this reality. Obviously, it might not be to this insane of an issue, but every family has their own demons, and no one truly lives that perfect life. One of my favorite scenes portrays the truth of the matter that even though we know about the badness that occurs in our household, we don't do anything because it's our family and we rather pretend nothing is happening than to have to face the truth head on. In the short, the son breaks down and interrupts his father's relaxing bath and proceeds to rape him. His screams are so loud that anyone in the house can hear him. The wife slash mom surely can hear them, but instead of doing anything, she pretends that she doesn't and turns up the volume on the TV. The mom character actually angers me because of how cowardly in her own way she is to the situation. As she saw her own husband not being able to do anything, she was the only one who could help, but didn't. In fact, she puts on a face and acts like everything is okay, even after this moment. This scene reminds me a lot of that scene in Get Out by Jordan Peele, where the main character remembers how his mom died from a hit and run accident right outside his house. He could hear her dying, but instead of doing anything, he just turns up the TV and pretends that his mom's not actually dying. Who he could literally hear her screams outside. I can relate to this, and so can many of you, if not all of you. We have all been there having to hear out our parents fight, our uncles, our older siblings yell, whatever the case may be. We have all been kids having to hide and cower underneath the blanket so that we don't have to face the truth that is on the other side of that thin wall. Ari Aster does a great job at making the son such a menacing presence. Isn't portrayed as a big muscle-bound meathead who is much stronger than the dad, but is portrayed as a level-headed, run-of-the-mill, white-collar man. His voice is very nice. His demeanor does harbor some darkness, but his countenance is always that of a normal, law abiding citizen that is right in his mind. His character is used to show how easily influential one family member can be to the entirety of the family, whether that is a good or bad influence. Since they are family, it's hard not to be stringed alongside them and their choices as we care about them unconditionally. The consequences of their actions reach out so vastly to others around them, and this is a great story examining that specifically at the end of the short. Let me catch you up to the speed though. So, like I said, the son has been sexually harassing the dad for quite some time now, and we have a time skip to his wedding where he celebrates by consummating the marriage with a little blowy. Unfortunately, his mom has the worst luck and sees all this go down. She doesn't say a word but bites her lips. Later that night is when we learn that the dad has plans to unveil this abuse and messed up relationship to the world with a memoir of sorts called Cocoon Man. He gets it printed and plans to give it to his wife to read so that she knows the truth and then presumably leaves. I'm not sure what it what he planned afterwards, it seems that he was gonna leave and maybe never come back. But his plans are soiled as his son finds the pages and confronts him about it, threatening that the next time he sees these pages, it will be more than a slap on the wrist. The father then deletes this confessional from his slow ass computer. Later, after the bad scene I mentioned earlier, the father has had enough, and we learn that he had a copy underneath his floorboards. And just as he's about to go outside, his son confronts him once again, proceeding to victim blame him. He is so delusional, truly believing that he can make a relationship with his father work. Like, bro, this man's married. He's actually insane. The father says, fuck all that, and runs into the street only to get hit by a car and dies. After the funeral, the mom confronts the son about his past abuse to his father and her husband. Mind you, the son is dressed just like the dad while all this is going down. We find out that this messed up relationship started 10 years ago during the son's prom night. The son keeps lying and gaslighting the mom. The mom ends up fighting the son and killing him. The short ends with her burning the confessional that the father wrote, showing how far she would go to save face and the reputation of the family instead of telling the truth. Such a good short film, and I'm glad I gave it a second chance. Peace out, everyone. Have a good night, and come back to the horror spaces when you can.